Quelqu'un m'entend? Oui, oui, ici c'est la RDC. Je vous reçois à 5 sur 5. Oui. Je suis sur le canal français et j'ai coupé l'audio original. Je voudrais confirmer aussi qu'on va écouter le son de la salle quand on va commencer à chanter les hymnes. Ok. C'est bon alors, merci beaucoup. Ok, merci.
Testing. A very good morning, distinguished delegates. As you can see from the screen, their excellencies are taking their group photo. After that, they're going to come straight into the meeting room. So if we could just take positions, let's be by our seats. And I will request that as they walk in, we're all going to rise, and then we'll be directed on the next processes. Thank you. Shall we please rise as their excellencies are walking in? And I will request that we remain standing. We will remain standing after all their excellencies have positioned. We're going to have the anthems by the Tanzania brass band. I'm not seeing the brass band in the room. Are they coming to sing from here or outside? Okay, they are walking in. As soon as all their excellencies are on their seats, we're going to have the anthems in this order, beginning with the anthem of the United Republic of Tanzania, followed by the anthem of the East African Community, and the anthem of the Southern African Development Community. I think all their excellencies are on their seats. I'll request that we proceed into the anthem. Brass band, thank you. United Republic of Tanzania anthem, followed by East African Community anthem and Sadc anthem. Thank you. We may be seated, Your Excellencies. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, a very good morning to you all. My name is Barbara Lopi from the Southern African Development Community Secretariat. I'm humbled this morning to be directing the opening ceremony of this meeting. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, allow me at this point to just introduce the excellencies who are participating in this meeting or their representatives. We are here for the joint summit of heads of states and government of the East African Community and the Southern African Development Community. Allow me to then, before I proceed in introducing their excellencies, I just want to provide information on the language channels for the equipment that is being used for us to communicate and listen to the discussions. The English language is on channel 1 of the gadgets that we have. French language is on channel 2, and Portuguese is on channel 3, and Kiswahili is on channel 4. I'll go straight into introduction of their excellencies or representatives that are participating in this meeting. I'll begin with our host, our gracious host this morning, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Shall we please put our hands together for Her Excellency? Thank you. Up here we have His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of the East African Community. Up here, we also have His Excellency Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of Sadc, Southern African Development Community. We do have participating online His Excellency Felix Antoine Tshisekedi Chilombo, President of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. His Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, President of the Federal Republic of Somalia. His Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda. His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia. In our midst, we also have His Excellency, the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mohammed. We have His Excellency General Gervais Ndirakubusha, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Burundi, representing His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi. We have His Excellency Ambassador Tete Antonio, Minister of External Relations, Republic of Angola, representing the President, His Excellency João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço, President of Republic of Angola. We have Honorable Deng Alo Kuo, Minister of East African Community Affairs of the Republic of Sudan, representing His Excellency Salva Kiir Mayarditi, President of the Republic of Sudan. We have Honorable Nancy Gladys Tembo, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Malawi, representing His Excellency Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, President of the Republic of Malawi. We have the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Mula, representing His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa. We have Honorable Lieutenant General Lala Monja Delphine Sahivelo, Minister of the Armed Forces in the Republic of Madagascar, representing His Excellency Andry Rajoelina, President of the Republic of Madagascar. Those were their excellencies, and up here we have the Honorable Professor Amon Muwira, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of the Sadc Council of Ministers. Up here we also have His Excellency, the Right Honorable Dr. Musahila Mudavadi, Prime Cabinet and Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Republic of Kenya, and Head of the East African Community Delegation of Ministerial Session. I would like to recognize all the honorable ministers and the deputies in the room. And up here, I would like to recognize the Secretary General of the East African Community, Her Excellency, sorry. My apologies. Let me start by recognizing His Excellency Mr. Elias Mahosi, the Executive Secretary of Sadc, and Her Excellency Madame Veronica Nduva, CBS Secretary General of the East African Community. Apologies, my sister, I forgot your name, but I have it. Senior officials from all SADC member states represented here, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. Our program will be as follows. We are going to have welcome remarks from our host president, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. This will be followed by the statements from the chairpersons from the East African Community and the Southern African Development Community. I will present their name after Her Excellency gives us the welcome remarks. Your Excellency, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Dr. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of SADC. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of East African Community. Fellow heads of state and government from EAC and SADC partner state and member states. Honorable Ministers, Honorable Veronica Nduva, Secretary General of East African Community, Your Excellency Mr. Elias Mpedi Magosi, the SADC Executive Secretary, distinguished delegates, good morning. It gives me a great pleasure and honor to welcome you all to the United Republic of Tanzania, and more specifically to the city of Dar es Salaam, the haven of peace, for this crucial joint EAC SADC summit convened to deliberate on the prevailing security situation in the Eastern DRC. Tanzania is profoundly honored to host this high-level meeting and remains eternally committed to the objective of promoting peace and security within the region and beyond. Similarly, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Executive Secretary of East African Community and Sadc and their entire teams for effectively coordinating this meeting within a short time. Excellencies, as we are all aware, DRC, a member of both the EAC and Sadc, is still facing prolonged conflicts whose impact has transcended its borders and so creating far-reaching effects in neighboring countries. For the last couple of weeks, we have witnessed the spread of violence that has caused massive harm to human life, human displacement, and insecurity, which affected economic activities and disrupted cross-border trades. As regional leaders, history will judge us harshly if we remain still and watch the situation worsen day by day. And in line with the principle of African solutions for Africa's problems, our countries have a collective responsibility to ensure we urgently address the existing security challenges that have heavily impacted the well-being of innocent civilians. This joint summit meeting presents an opportunity to recommit our collective efforts in addressing the conflicts and reaffirm our sustainable peace and stability in the entire EAC and SADC regions. It is crucial that we find a durable solution that upholds sovereignty, promotes inclusivity, and ensures that the people of DRC can enjoy durable peace and security that they have been yearned for decades. Excellencies, as a steadfast advocate for peace in Africa, Tanzania is deeply concerned about the persistent insecurity in Eastern DRC. The ongoing conflict not only destabilizes our brotherly nation, but also put serious dents on our consistent efforts to enhance regional integration. My country remains committed to supporting ongoing diplomatic initiatives to end conflicts in Eastern DRC, and so we call on all parties involved in the DRC conflict to positively engage in negotiations, prioritize the well-being of its people, and commit to peaceful coexistence. Excellencies, our gathering here in Dar es Salaam should be an opportunity for us to have serious reflections and engage constructively on what needs to be done to assist our fellow member states in addressing security challenges. Despite the woven complexity of the matter we are dealing with, we should be confident that this meeting will come up with concrete proposals and measures to urgently address the existing challenges so as to avoid an impending humanitarian catastrophe. As active members of EAC and SADC, we have to remain resolute in our quest to see peaceful and stable regional blocs with our countries standing tall and harmoniously coexisting. It is therefore my humble request to you, my colleagues, let us be united in our efforts to end violence, foster stability, and create an environment where peace, security, and development can thrive. With these few remarks, I once again extend my warmest welcome to all of you and wish you productive deliberation. Asante sana, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup, obrigado. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, President of the United Republic of Tanzania. I would like to make an apology to the Republic of South Sudan. I think in my presentation I slipped off and omitted the South. Honorable Den Aloyekuo, Minister of East African Community Affairs, he's from Republic of South Sudan. Thank you. The next presentation will be remarks from the co-chairpersons of this joint summit of East African Community and Southern African Development Community Summit. The co-chairpersons will be His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of East African Community. And the co-chair is His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of Sadc. So we're going to start with remarks from His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of the East African Community. Their Excellencies will deliver their remarks from that podium. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency and Co-Chair, Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, Chairperson of Sadc and President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government of the East African Community and Sadc member states, Ministers responsible for Foreign Affairs and External Relations of EAC and Sadc, Secretary Generals of Sadc and EAC, distinguished delegates, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, I will take this very early opportunity to sincerely thank my dear sister, Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, for hosting this joint summit. After extensive consultations, when I requested her to host this summit, without hesitation, she offered these excellent facilities for us to engage in this exercise. My dear sister, thank you very much. We're truly grateful. Equally important, I appreciate the efforts made by the two regions through their respective communities to mobilize with urgency and convene separate extraordinary summits in order to deliberate on the concerning security situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Excellencies, together, we find ourselves standing face to face with a grave and protracted security, diplomatic, and humanitarian crisis in DRC, a situation that demands our immediate, collective, and sustained attention. The East region of DRC has been engulfed in a devastating conflict for over 2 decades now, and this tragedy has claimed thousands of lives, displaced countless civilians, inflicted unbearable suffering and loss, and set back the development momentum of one of the most promising countries in the world. The recent escalation of hostilities in Goma and the surrounding areas is a stark reminder of the increasing fragility the situation presents, and that only collective action to facilitate a negotiated solution will offer relief. Today, we join together in order to reiterate our calls to the parties to this tragic conflict to immediately cease hostilities and take positive action to allow meaningful dialogue aimed at restoration of stability. Specifically, we stand together to call on all parties to actualize the ceasefire, and specifically on the M23 to hold further advancement and the armed forces of DRC to cease all retaliatory measures. An immediate ceasefire is the only way by which we can create necessary conditions for constructive dialogue and implementation of a comprehensive peace agreement. As members of the African Union and United Nations, we stand bound by fundamental principles of respect for the territorial integrity and sovereignty of nations and the principle of good neighborliness. These twin principles are the surest safeguards for the realization of peaceful coexistence. Equally, as responsible members of the international community are bound by the obligation to ensure the safety of diplomatic assets, civilians, and personnel, as well as peacekeepers within our countries. The wanton disregard for the sanctity of life, diplomatic missions, and peacekeeping, and peacekeepers as well, is not only a brazen demonstration of lawless and unprincipled pursuit of violent harm and destruction, it is a grave affront to the rules-based international order. Excellencies, our presence here underscores our consensus that the time for action is now. The lives of millions depends on our ability to navigate this complex and challenging situation with wisdom, clarity of mind, empathy for the millions whose lives and livelihoods have been plunged into uncertainty, concerns for DRC's lost opportunity to accelerate its growth and development, and a steadfast commitment to peace and justice. A terrible yet indisputable act is that the humanitarian cost of the conflict in the DRC has been staggering. Millions of civilians have been displaced and many lives under the persistent threat of violence, including sexual and gender-based violence against women and children, and the recruitment of children to take part in combat. We have a historic opportunity to rise to our moral duty of making the protection of civilians our foremost priority, and of taking measures to ensure that the necessary resources and support are provided. For many well-known reasons, the situation in DRC implicates the broader global community. Therefore, we call upon the international community to step up and do its part in supporting regional efforts in delivering for the DRC, and critically collaborating with the government of the DRC to deliver support and security to those most in need. It is clear that the conflict in DRC is complex, delicate, protracted, and involves multiple actors pursuing different interests. The issues at stake span a wide historical, economic, and political spectrum, run back in time for many decades, and spill across national and regional borders. There is also a clandestine international dimension at work, whose persistent, cynical, and destructive effects must neither be underestimated or ignored any longer. For this reason, it is equally clear that such a conflict cannot be resolved through military means. We must resist the temptation to think that we can somehow shoot or bombard our way into a solution in the face of such a complex situation. Instead, we have to agree that only a comprehensive diplomatic approach, one that addresses the root causes of the crisis, secures the historical integrity and territorial integrity of DRC, and affirms the sovereignty of its people and their aspirations for freedom, justice, and development. That is what will establish peace, and enduring peace at that, in DRC. Such an approach must also bring together multiple stakeholders, regional states, international bodies, political organizations, civil society groups, and the Congolese government itself to dialogue and collaborate in order to explore, develop, and implement a lasting solution. Excellencies, I am confident that you agree with me that dialogue is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to our collective wisdom and strength, both as leaders and as communities. It shows our capacity to articulate issues patiently and clearly, listen to each other, consult comprehensively with a common goal in mind, and negotiate patiently until we reach a better outcome than the bitter results of bloodshed. It is in this spirit that we must encourage all parties to put aside their differences and mobilize for engagement in constructive dialogue aimed at achieving the sustainable solution of conflict by peacefully addressing all underlying issues. I believe that we have a singular opportunity to build on the gains and lessons of Rwanda and Nairobi peace processes. We have a historic opportunity as the broader neighborhood of the DRC to mobilize our collective will into a fused, single, and coherent initiative towards the resolution of this complex crisis. Such an approach will bring all our assets to bear and minimize the possibility of parallel initiatives that duplicate and undermine progress, including creating unnecessary competition as we strive for peace. My dear brothers and sisters, this calls for our unwavering political support. I therefore urge Your Excellencies at this extraordinary joint summit to deploy our best effort and muster our total commitment to facilitate a sustainable settlement that lays the foundation for a stable and prosperous Democratic Republic of Congo. I dare say, Excellencies, the situation may be complex, it may be protracted, it may have been with us for years, but I believe the situation in the DRC can be solved, should be solved, and must be solved. For this reason, it may also be prudent for the consolidated single EAC Sadc initiative on this matter to be supported by a strong secretariat that can provide the necessary coordination, monitoring, and enforcement to ensure effective implementation of outcomes. The international community must stand in solidarity with the people of DRC during this time by aligning their support with this initiative. I conclude, Excellencies, by affirming our robust commitment to achieving sustainable peace and development and integration across the region. The security of DRC is essential not only for the stability of the country, but also to the prosperity and cohesion of the entire EAC and SADC. We call upon all parties to prioritize dialogue, cooperation, and above all, the protection of civilian lives. I thank you once again for being able to be here on this very important mission. It is a historic mission because for the first time, two regional economic blocs come together as a testament of the seriousness of the challenge we face, but also underscoring our commitment to provide leadership to resolve this issue. Thank you very much. May the Almighty God bless all of you and bless our region. Asanteni sana, merci beaucoup, Mayor Brigato. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya, and chairperson of the East African Community. We're now going to have another statement from His Excellency Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, who is co-chair to this meeting and chairperson of the Southern African Development Community. Your Excellency, you may proceed to deliver your remarks. Thank you.
Your Excellency, Mr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Chairperson of the East African Community and co-chair of this summit. Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania and Chairperson of the Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Cooperation. Your Excellencies, heads of state and government from our regional bodies, honorable ministers who are here, the Sadc Executive Secretary, His Excellency Elias Magosi, the EAC Secretary General, His Excellency Mrs. Veronica Ndua, comrades and friends. It is my distinct honor and privilege to make these remarks of welcome to this historic gathering. Firstly, may I express heartfelt gratitude to you, my dear sister and colleague, Your Excellency, President Dr. Samia Hassan, along with the government and people of the United Republic of Tanzania, for the warm welcome and gracious hospitality extended to my delegation since our arrival in this beautiful city of Dar es Salaam. In the same spirit, I also extend sincere appreciation to my dear brother, Your Excellency, President William Ruto, for your astute leadership for the East African community and for agreeing to meet at short notice. Equally, our respective secretariats, senior officials and Council of Ministers are commended for their diligent work in preparation for this joint summit. Your efforts have laid a solid foundation for our discussions today. Allow me, on behalf of Sadc, the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe, and indeed on my own behalf, to once again convey heartfelt condolences and deepest sympathies to the member states and families of the brave peacekeepers who lost their lives in the service of the people of DRC and indeed the cause of peace. We also recognize the loss of civilian lives and livelihoods that has resulted from the increased insecurity and insurgency in Eastern DRC. Our prayers continue to be made for the affected families and the communities. Your Excellencies, this historic summit of our two regional blocs is testament to our shared commitment to the founding values of the African Union. Such joint initiatives must see us scale up bold and decisive actions to to silence the guns on our continent, but most immediately implement lasting solution to the escalating conflict and humanitarian crisis in the Eastern DRC. Undoubtedly, ongoing instability, growing hostilities, and the ever-increasing number of internally displaced persons in the Eastern DRC has far-reaching consequences, not only for the people of DRC alone, but also for our regions and the African continent as a whole. The unity, solidarity, and unbreakable bonds of the peoples of the continent must stand the test of such trying times as we face. We must remain as solidly united as we were during the struggle for complete emancipation and independence of Africa from colonialism. We thus have a duty and a collective responsibility to comprehensively, frankly, tackle and address the various challenges that are impeding the realization of peace and security for the people of Eastern DRC. Drawing from our rich African values and heritage, and further emboldened by the spirit and letter of the United Nations Charter, the Constitutive Act of the African Union, as well as the treaties of both Sadc and the EAC, let us seize this opportunity to ensure convergence and a coordinated response which is mutually reinforcing towards one common objective. I thus challenge all of us to approach the agenda before us with openness, honesty, flexibility, and commitment to building a lasting peace for Mother Africa. The all-encompassing interests of the people of the DRC must be at the core of our deliberations. Let us do much more to realize sustainable peace in our sister republic of the DRC in our lifetime. To date, Sadc notes and acknowledges the progress made under the Rwanda and Nairobi processes aimed at silencing the guns, as well as facilitating dialogue among all parties to the conflict. This summit, therefore, should leap us forward towards a concrete roadmap to help resolve the ongoing crisis. As the leaders entrusted to nurture and facilitate unity, peace and development in this era, we cannot let the peoples of our regions down. Their hope is in us here. The Sadc bloc remains unwavering and committed to continue playing its part. With these remarks, I wish the summit fruitful deliberations, and thank you. Asante sana, tatenda.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Emmerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Chairperson of the Southern African Development Community. We are getting to the end of the official opening ceremony. May I please request that we have 2 rounds of applause for our co-chairpersons for those statements. Thank you. This marks the end of the official opening ceremony, which was open to the media and the invited guests. At this point, we will allow the members of the press to be excused and leave the room so that we allow their excellencies to deliberate on the agenda. The meeting participation is 1+5. Again, we will request delegations that were invited to the official opening, but who are outside the 5 configuration to be excused. As the media is exiting,